This is how my cat eats. He's always acted this way with half the food he takes just dropping out of his mouth. Honestly, I don't know where he got this really annoying behavior. It must have picked it up someplace and I don't know where. But I needed to stop. And I might have the solution.
Here's the problem. Gaston, that's our cat's name, will take a mouthful of his dried food, a special formulation for hairballs and wonky digestion, turn his head away from his bowl, and let half of the pellets just drop out. And once his food has hit the floor, he won't touch it again and demands more food to replace whatever he dropped. But since we're not there to constantly pick up his mess, he loves batting the hard pellets around the house, where some eventually tumble down the stairs to the basement floor. We crush several of these under our feet, and walking on hard cat food pellets is somewhat akin to stepping on very small Lego pieces. Maybe I can't stop him from being a messy eater, but perhaps I can corral the spread of his dropped food pellets by building a container consisting of 4 sides, a bottom, and a mesh top where dropped food pellets accumulate safely. The materials are simple and few. I'm using an 8-foot length of wood, 3/4 inch, technically 11/16 by 2.5 inch primed finger jointed molding to create the sides. That's about $16. This is a quick and dirty prototype, which will most probably become the finished product if it works out. So I'm attempting to make the corners as attractive or unugly as possible by using my miter saw's bevel for 45-degree corner cuts. By flipping that 8 feet length at every 45-degree cut, you easily get 4 lengths of 24 inches, with some left over. That's because every piece borrows from the previous one and the next one. So from an 8-foot length, you get 4 2-feet lengths, plus some left over. That's magic. The top grate is a 2 by 4 feet Plascolite suspended light ceiling panel, the type covering recessed neon lights in offices and stores, cut down to about half its size. That's $20. And a 2 by 2 feet section of 3mm hardboard worth about $4 to be utilized as the bottom of the enclosure. The square headboard bottom can now be used to align the 4 sides at 90 degrees. Some wood glue applied to the mitered ends and then nailed hold the sides together. Flip that around, apply some more wood glue, and spread it out with an expert thumb. And then add even more nails, because there are very few things in life you can never get too much of. One being nails fired from the nail gun, the other being more cowbell. The top grate rests flush inside the enclosure, held up by 4 sections of 1/4 inch by 1 inch doorstop, called primed finger jointed doorstop. Doorstop molding typically come in 7 feet lengths, and since I needed just under 8 feet, luckily I had a few extra feet laying around. Cost is just under $14. The total cost of this contraption is about $54, plus taxes. I want the grate to align with the top of the enclosure. Since the doorstop molding is a 1/4 inch thick, I'm using that as a gauge to give myself the space necessary for the plastic grate, which is coincidentally also a 1/4 inch thick. Shooting a couple of nails into each section holds it perfectly. And here's the finished product. The exterior measures 24 by 24 inches and the interior is at 22 and a half. The grating is 22 and a quarter by 22 and a quarter and fits in perfectly flush. Now, I'm no cat psychologist and I don't know how Gaston will react. There's only one way to find out. I can't imagine what's going through my cat's head most of the time, and I certainly couldn't predict how he'd react to the new dining setup. At first, he tried standing on the plastic platform to eat, but maybe he felt it was just too weird. So he tried accessing his food from afar, sitting outside the enclosure and scooping the pellets towards him. Lacking an opposable thumb, the pellets would fall and be lost through the grating, and he'd just sit there staring at it. That evening, my daughter, who's not the heartless cat person I am, placed Gaston's food bowl closer to the edge. From there, he could sit and easily eat directly from his bowl. Still, if he was to drop some pellets while eating, it would fall through the grate and be lost. What I'm noticing is he's being really careful about what he's allowing to fall from his mouth. Is it possible that in just a few hours he's learned to be more careful? This platform is still new, so it'll take some time to see how he and we adapt. But for now, I'd call this a win.